Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hello, greetings. I'm happy right now, I must admit, because I actually have a replay from this patch. Because I went to my replay site and I got it, which means no replay bugs, no fiddling through the massive amalgamation of different patches that I've got in my thing and fixing it to the right one, opening it in Notepad and blah, de blah, de blah. Now, we have a replay, but I've only skilled player here, the Duke, weighing in at over 3,000 WNH with 60% wins. I expect good things, and we all expect good things when we are placed in at the top of 357 matchmaking, do we not? And in a light tank of all things, there's potential for a good player in that position. It's interesting to me that he went this way. I probably would have done the same thing after consideration, which is probably exactly their head. Okay, cool. I think at some point I'll say words. So, high explosive. He's found high explosive. Why is he doing that? Well, because it has 102mm of pen. This is HEP, much as you would find on the M41 Black Dog, for example. 102mm of pen, 320 alpha damage. Quite a step up from the 240, which is standard for this 90mm gun. Now you got 215mm of pen going into that WZ-132, overkill indeed, but that's what we're looking at. And 250 with the heat pen at tier 9. That's adequate for engaging mediums and lights, but not really feasible if you're not top tier and you're trying to engage the best of the heavies. Now this tank, 70 km/h top speed, 24 in reverse, a 900 horsepower engine, giving it a horsepower per ton of about 35. Now that's nice. It is a speedy tank, and the thing about these Germans, you can see him reversing behind the bush here to try and avoid getting spotted when he fires. Looks like he manages it. The thing about these German tanks is they're known for accurate guns. That's, for the most part, that's what you're looking at with a German tank. You can say what you want about that other quality, but it's the accuracy of their guns that is their thing. If the Russians' thing was firing on the move and hitting, and being overpowered and ludicrously favoured above all other nations, then the Germans would be accuracy of the gun. Now, 410 meters view range, so hopefully going to allow him to capitalise, indeed spotting that 1390 when he fired. And I'll remind everyone that 410 meters of view range is 20 meters more than the tier 10 French light tank, because, you know, reasons and things. And so we got HEP loading into the chamber here, and he's relocating, anticipating that 1390 condensing down upon him and trying to clip him out. 1390 has 4 shells with 240 alpha damage, so that would be a real pain in the butt. If he got clipped by that guy, that would be 960 damage coming his way, and he does not have the health to survive that. Now, at this point, I've got to say, this is interesting to me. At this point, I would relocate to right here. Now, I've always said this. There's a disparity between the mindset that people have, right? People look at your stats and they look at them all as one. You know, they look at the whole package, when in reality, each one kind of dictates and portrays the differences and nuances of players' gameplay. And what I mean by that is that we've got a high WN8 here. What does that mean? Well, it means that the Duke does a lot of damage. Alright, just more damage. He shoots a lot of people a lot of the time. Simple as that, basically. Win rate is lower than mine, despite him, on average, doing better and doing more in the damage.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition!
In fact, my win rate is 2%. It could vary, maybe 0.5%, but basically 2% higher than the Duke's. And that, to me, states that we have a different playstyle, which is why I'm not surprised, because I'm a more tactical player than most. And that's not me patting myself on the back and saying, oh, I'm better in the tactical department, I'm smarter. No, that's me having awareness because I have limitations that I have to accommodate for. My dystonia particularly limits my capabilities in the damage department in ways that a lot of other people who would perhaps rival my skill level don't have to think about. And as I've evolved as a player, as I've learned how the game works, those limitations have, and my awareness of them, has meant that I've developed a playstyle that is far more reliant on tactics and positioning on the map than most other players that I've found. And so, I'm just saying, you know, it's interesting to me that, because I haven't seen this game. I have no idea what's going to happen here, I have a basic idea. But yeah, I'd have been there and I'd have tried to spot for the STRV and the UDES. I'd have relied more on my team than the Duke seems to be doing here. And I must say, at the moment, this is where Duke's play is about to pay off. And it's significantly later than mine would have. I would have been down there and spotted. I might have got these guys killed earlier, but at the same time, I might have got killed by this 1390 as he pushed out there. He might have shot in there, and I might have died right there. So, no way of knowing, really. In fact, actually, I think I'm just being arrogant. I think, actually, I would have got killed there, and I would have probably lost the game for it as a result. But, oh, that's unlucky. An important thing to note. The Duke, I imagine he's well aware of this. He certainly should be. But he's not playing like it. Alright, let's have a look. Gun depression of these German tanks. This is fairly common. You find this on a few German tanks, like the E50M, for example. The gun depression is worse over the front as well as the back. It is better over the sides of these German tanks. Why can't I zoom out? Odd. God dang it! Now, okay, fine. Ha-ha! 3 camera judges you. Okay, so, over the front of the tank, he has 5.8 degrees of gun depression. Over the side, he has 10 degrees, which is fantastic. Over the rear, thanks to this bump, which I imagine contains the engine, he has -1. -1! Ooh, that is bad. That is bad. And I must admit, if he had pulled side on in these bushes, he'd have taken out that 1390 first shot. But that is something you've got to balance, really. Is it worth pulling up side on because I might expose myself for too long? Obviously, it's easier to relocate if you're parking backwards, or you're parking forwards and you can just simply reverse. When you park side on, you have to turn that and go away as well, which can lead to difficulties. And you can see the enemy team is condensing down upon these guys in the low ground right here, I imagine. It's interesting to me that he doesn't stay up to take the second shot on the ISU. Perhaps he was aware that it was probably going to die to the rest of his team. I am not sure. Anything else to mention? 8.57 rounds per minute. DPM isn't exactly exceptional. I believe about 2,100. Something around there. So, it's not great, but it's not abysmal by any means. Right. So, at this point, he's probably considering going for the arty. Yep, and he is going for the arty. How do I know that? Well, he just loaded Hesh. So, against Tier 9, against the Tier 7 arty, that will probably mean a one-shot. Against the Tier 9, it will mean that he can two-shot, and then I'm not sure if that would be the case with... Oh, you gotta aim carefully with that one. Oh, there we go. Beautiful pen. And loads HE again. Now, that's questionable. Both because of the shell travel time, as you saw there, is a lot worse with high explosive or heat. And if he didn't pen there, if he hit the tracks or something, I highly doubt he would have killed that guy. So, would have been unfortunate. And there's the pig. Look at... Bit of a low roll there. Wouldn't have killed him with an average roll anyway, but you can see that. That is unlucky. But it went behind the bushes there, meaning that when he fired that second shot, he didn't get spotted, which is nice. He's going to go in, and I'll remind you right now, he is in a 1 versus 6. And there's the other arty, just above a one-shot for this gun. And we might see some performance from this gun. I'm not sure how it would do with accuracy on the move. You got 0.26 accuracy and a 2-second aim time. But this tank is not Russian. It is not Russian. So it doesn't have the Russian class bonus of being better than everything else and hitting on the move because of reasons. So that's awfully unfortunate. I love it. I'm talking and I haven't taken a drink for a while, so my Morgan Freeman voice is beginning to happen, which is nice. So heat is being loaded right now. 250 millimeters of pen. Gonna have to watch that shell travel time. And 2 of the arty taken out. To be honest, I like the fact that he didn't go for the FB in the low ground here, and instead took out the guy on the higher ground first. That gives him a position of power and dominance to use, as opposed to him getting stuck on the low ground with potentially a WZ that has pretty impressive mobility, perching up on here and disallowing his exit from there. I like the fact that he didn't overcommit there, and even now, just trying to use these bushes, he doesn't want to YOLO in there and get stuck. And there we go. That's the reward for the careful playing right there. Takes out the arty. Gorgeous. Okay, so 1 versus 3. Just to spite me, he's gonna charge into the low ground and potentially get stuck below the enemy. But in fairness to him, he was last spotted moving up onto the high ground, so let's just say he's baiting them, right? That said, he did kill the arty, so it wouldn't be too hard for the enemy to anticipate this. We shall see indeed. 1 in the cap. Who do we anticipate that being? Well, I'd say it's the Tiger 1. Heavy tank in this situation, I'd say, is far more likely to cap. Oh, now there's 2 in. Okay, if the 3rd one gets in, this is going to be trouble, even for a light tank as fast as this. So, let's see where he's going to go. Obviously, options are limited at this point. You've got bushes above the cap circle on this side, but if a TD is to be found in this location, then that's pretty much going to be game over. I'm surprised they can't pull out a spot from here, to be honest. He's certainly using optics on this tank. There's a brown trousers moment and a half. Okay, so you can see both of those enemy tanks were anticipating him coming from the other side, and quite frankly, I'm not sure what spotted him there. Seems odd to say that it was the TDs, even with binos. Perhaps it is the case that the Tiger being a... Well, it pains me to say this. The Tiger being a more defensively oriented heavy tank, or... No, that's the wrong way of saying it. The Tiger being capable as a sniping support heavy tank. Maybe he's set up somewhere with binos, but doesn't look like that's the case. And here we go, gonna aim down on the upper plate with a heat shell, and there we go. It looks like the WZ was set up with binos. He is able to spot him, and at this point, this is fish in a barrel. This is game over. There's absolutely no way that this Tiger is going to come out on top of this game. It's one of the reasons why I love light tanks so much. They're one of my favourite classes of vehicle in the game, because you can say all you want about how they're poorly balanced and how they can't compete with mediums, and you have a perfect right to say that, but because it is true for the most part. But there's just something special about the... And, well, Tiger's going to need to miss. He's going to need to miss. And in my opinion, that was pretty poor play by the Duke at the end there, to get himself in a situation... I mean, I can understand the stress levels, but to get himself in a situation where he could lose that game was pretty poor. That said, if he relocated with only 2 minutes left on the clock and got into trouble then, would have been difficult. But Who am I to judge? I didn't play it. I'm just sat here at my ease in a chair judging players who perform more consistently than myself. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure commentating for you on this replay. Thank you so much. Get busy living or get busy dying. That's damn right.